Hey, what's up everybody, BDF 44 coming at you another video. Alright, so update on my own little crap, my floor. It's still this. I don't walk on it without these shoes because it was supposed to be done today. So I find out, unfortunately, last minute. She hit me up. I was in here, not quite ready for noon to walk in my house at all. And she was like, hey, remember when I told you they were gonna be here Thursday? And I'm like, no. No, I'm still waiting for that information. Well, unfortunately, they're outside right now, so let them in. As you saw, along with those ugly shoes on the floor, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be moved in order for them to come in here and do the work. And unfortunately, when she called, I was also starting my chicken again. You know, my little routine where I cook chicken and rice, as you guys know. Yeah, I just put the chicken in like 10 minutes before she called. So and I didn't realize that when we were having a conversation either. I was just saying no, I couldn't do it because I was in here and then I needed to get in the shower afterward. And then I was going to have to be able to move all that stuff. So I'm like, just give me about an hour, 20 minutes to shower. The rest of the time needed to move the stuff and we can have them come in. But unfortunately, they weren't able to do that. They got to keep it pushing. Time is money and those guys are on the schedule. So, yeah. Unfortunately, it made it look like I'm kind of being difficult, of course, because all I got to do is get up and let them in. But unfortunately, it wasn't that simple with the chicken being in there. It was raw chicken, so it's one of the things where it's like they've been able to come in and I'd have been able to show them that the chicken had just been in the oven. I see, now we got about an hour and a half before my meal is done, as to which I'd have sent them away anyway. So, yeah. It's one of those situations where it's like, I get it. Very much so. It's very difficult to manage an apartment. I've helped my mother manage an apartment back in the early 2000s. And, one of the things that I learned was when you're scheduling things for tenants to kind of have to be moved around or inconvenienced, the two things that are most important is getting the scheduling of when the work needs to be done and making sure that the tenants have that information as soon as you get it. You know what I mean? That's like boom, boom. Because if you don't let them know, it's not as simple as forcing someone to fit it into the schedule. It's like with business and things of that nature, it's easy. And as you're managing something, it is business. So it's like time is money. Boom, I schedule them at a certain time. They got to be here at that time. And it all falls apart. But when you're dealing with someone in their home, it's not as simple as saying, okay, we need to be on time. Nah, you got to give those people time to maneuver their lives so that their home space can be available to them to let the workers in or what have you. This was a situation where maybe 9 out of 10 tenants would have been able to open the door no problem. But me at that moment was not able to, so the business gets screwed up. So that's where the mistake was made. She didn't relay the information of the scheduling to me. You know what I mean? So the only way the business could actually get done is if I completely slam my whole life in the moment. Take the chicken that I got in here, what is it, like $6 worth of chicken, throw it in the trash, proceed to get up and forget about my shower and what needs to be done to make myself presentable, and then proceed to let some strangers in my house as to which things need to be moved in my kitchen immediately. It's like it's impossible for the business to get done on time if the tenant doesn't have the information of the scheduling. So that's what it is. It's like, damn, and it's like she's kind of talking to me as if I'm supposed to have already had that information. And so she's like disappointed, like, you knew that was coming. I didn't. Because had I known, I for sure would have been ready, just like last time. And that's always been my communication with our manager here. It's like, yo, if you tell me on time, I'm going to make sure I get out the way. Because I'm the type of person who thinks about things as it pertains to, I don't want to be inconsiderate to nobody else. Because I know naturally I'm like this. So it's like, if you come last minute, I'm going to turn you away. So if you let me know, I'm going to for sure make sure I'm ready to make up for that, for which is my trait. So the way I look at it is, I'm the type of dude where if you give me 3 years, I can get anything done. You tell me you need to get a rare artifact in Antarctica, you give me enough time, I can get it. You just let me have the time to get it. You show me the resources I need to get it. I can get things done on time, but what I cannot do is instantaneously react to things that I have no idea and then shuffle my life around in order to make it work out. I'm not wired that way. I know a lot of people are. There are a lot of people out here who have bags packed at the door, time to move, boom, let's go. Wow. They're trained for that, they're wired for that. That's how their life work. Me, nah. Nah, that's not how this works. I'm actually very, very, very domestic, very stable. And so if I'm gonna have to move things around, you either gonna fit my schedule or it's not gonna happen. It's a fact. I'm not a professional, so I'm not adhering to anything in that regard. Now I want to. It's one of those situations when she called, believe it or not, I'm like, yes, you ready to get this done? Cool. All right, I'm gonna hop in the shower. That was my attitude. Like, it's not that they can't come in. Just give me some time because I need this done. Like, I don't want to walk around. I don't want to look at my floor like this no more. You know what I mean? I want it done, but it's just like, to what extent? You know what I mean? Like, this is what happens if in order for it to get done. It's like, well, damn, who's gonna pay for the chicken? Like, you know what I'm saying? All this stuff got to be moved around. It's like, yo, can I at least wash my backside first? No. Because my personality is, and you can ask anybody who's known me for a long time, I'm the guy who makes everybody who's with us, if we went to play basketball, me and my friends, we went to the basketball game, we did a couple rounds of basketball, and then they decide they want to go to the city walk or somewhere to go see a movie after that. I'm the guy that makes all of the friends drop me off at the house so I can shower. So I can attest to this. I've done it more than once, and they were annoyed by it. Like, bro, you clean enough, man. We ain't even gonna see nobody. It's just us. And I don't care, bro, because I present myself a certain way. So in my mind, it's like if I ain't showered, I'm not presentable, and if I'm not presentable, I'm not comfortable. And if I ain't comfortable, I ain't going. You know what I'm saying? I'm just wired that way. I don't make no apologies for that. That's why I stay clean. I'm a clean person, and so that's how I'm wired. So it's like, if I'm sitting in here, you call me, and it's before the shower. It's like, yeah, the shower's going to happen. It did. Whatever you got going on, gonna happen after that. That's fact. So that's just how I'm wired. I don't play with showers. I don't skip them, especially when it's a moment where the shower is necessary, and which it was. So it was like, yo, no, the shower's gonna happen, and then whatever happens after that, it's gonna have to fit in the schedule. So it's like, I'm just not wired, and I'm sorry. I legitimately am sorry because I want this done. I understand that if I were maneuverable, instantaneously maneuverable, and somebody could throw away $6 worth of chicken, things could be a lot easier for her. You know what I'm saying? I get that, but I don't think I can do it. I can't do it in this instance. So yeah, man, that's why I wanted to make a therapy session, man. I felt a little bad about that. Wish I was able to read her mind and project when the schedule to take place so I could be on time and let it happen. But unfortunately, I'm not a psychic, man. God did not give me that talent. So it is what it is, man. Just want to give you guys a little update on what's going on here. So we rescheduled it. You know what I'm saying? We rescheduled it for the 28th. I put that on. We don't have a time yet, which is fine. It was plenty of time to figure out what time it is. And the bottom line is, now that I know it's on the 28th, I will be ready at 7 in the morning, regardless of what time it is. So to make up for that. But, it's one of those situations where it's like, I'm not mad. I just don't want her to be mad. You know what I'm saying? In a sense where I don't want to have to defend myself in saying, yo, you forgot to tell me. And, that's why I wasn't ready. And that I wasn't ready can't be my fault when I was waiting for the time. If she would have told me, yo, I'm going to schedule it, so just be ready. As to which I would have said, what time you going to schedule it? And then she would have said something like, in this case, well, you probably won't know, so just be ready early in the morning. But even then, I would need a day like I have here. I didn't get the day either. So it's like, the last thing I got in text from her was, we're going to reschedule it, I'll let you know. Nothing else. So it's like, oh, okay. I'm still waiting for the information. And it's like, I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe she told me verbally. Maybe she said it. Maybe she said, maybe she said it. And if that's the case, oh crap, I forgot. But that's part of the problem. People forget, you know what I mean? When you're dealing with tenants and people in their homes and stuff. I smoke a lot of weed, man. I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm stressed out. I got mental health issues. I ain't gonna remember something you tell me. We gotta make sure it's in text. So that's one thing I learned as well. Everything when you're dealing with people, especially any type of situation, had to be in writing. So at least they could say, all right, well, if it's a mind issue, like in this case, maybe I forgot and she said it verbally, even though I'm certain it's not the case. It's one of them situations where it's like, okay, well, I'm referring to my text message. I don't see it. So that's another thing we can say. I don't think I have the greatest memory, but this is one of those situations where this is constantly on my mind. And the reason why, to be completely and utterly honest with you, is because ever since we unlifted this floor this apartment ain't felt the same spiritually. It was almost as if my spirit needed to reintroduce itself to the inhabitants here once they unearthed that floor. I'm serious, y'all. Y'all know I'm spiritually inclined. If you follow enough of my therapy sessions, it shouldn't be too weird in regards to myself. But that's what it's been, you guys. I ain't gonna lie to you. These last couple of days, I haven't felt like myself, and I haven't figured out why. And the only thing I can come to terms with is this floor has a different spiritual energy to it. Whatever was on the floor, the laminate that was over it, had its own energy, its own people who walked on it, and all that. When they unearthed that other floor, that's a difference. It's different. That's the best way I know to describe the vibes, man. It's just different. But I made peace with it this morning. You know what I mean? I made peace with it this morning. My little prayer, you know how I am. I'm like, yo, my spirit is different. I think I know what it is. I'm feeling the sadness that you felt in this house when you lived here, but I want you to know that I've overcome certain sadnesses. I was saying this to a spirit, whoever it was that would otherwise understand this, and I started feeling a calming effect. The energy that I felt once I started declaring those things in spirit was that of like a pet. It was almost like the family pet walked up to me and started to calm my spirit down as I started to tell the energy of the room that whatever your sadness is, I felt my own sadness, and over the last 2 years I found ways of overcoming it. And I started pointing at my art here, spiritual experience. I started pointing at my art. I was like, look, you have wherever you are to enjoy what it is that I've created in whatever way possible. I got playlists here of music. I got art here that you can go through. Whatever it is, you need to know that the energy that I'm feeling from you is a depression that I felt as well. And this is how I overcame it. With art, with prayer, with weed, with just the peaceful energy that otherwise I want to continue to feel while I'm living here. You know, there's always going to be reasons to be sad. There's always going to be tragedy attached to our lives. But what we cannot do is not see the solution in the people who are present. You know what I'm saying? For all the spirits that inhabit these areas, it's like, yo, yeah, you are sad. But guess what? The solution is the people who live there. You ain't got to push them away. You know what I'm saying? And so that's a different type of spiritual energy that I just ultimately made peace with this morning, which is why my house feels great. Now, after that, I rolled over, went to sleep, and that was it. I literally woke up 3 hours later to that phone call, more or less. To be honest with you, I got up, came in the bathroom, and the phone call came at that moment. But like, that's exactly how my morning went. I rolled over, felt very, very depressed because of the energy that was coming from that floor. So to say I forgot about the floor when they're going to be getting it done, if to say that information just kind of left my mind, not likely. Not likely. No, not at all. I didn't forget about that floor or when it was supposed to be done or anything about that dang floor right there. So that just gives you a little bit of an instance in how I am. You know, I get energy from certain objects. One of my therapy sessions I might have made early on, it might have been a therapy session, it might have actually been before I started naming these therapy sessions. But one of them videos in the past, I told you guys about an instance where my grandmother had just passed away, and we were cleaning out my mother's room in my grandmother's house. So my mother used to live there when she was an adult in an attic area. And when we had finished clearing out the entire house, there was something underneath my mother's bed, and I could feel it. When I say feel it, like spiritual energies, like I feel that floor right there, I could feel it. It was something under the bed. And I told my mother, I told my mom's friend who was also there with us, helping us clean out the house. And I think it was one of my cousins who was there as well. I told them, I was like, there's something under that bed. It's a lot of spiritual energy coming from it, and it doesn't feel good. I told them that very thing. I was like, I don't know what the hell's underneath there, but I'm telling you, there is something there that we need to find. And went underneath there, and it was my mother's graduation picture. Untouched since I don't think she had seen that picture since she had basically gotten it from her school. It was still in the glass laminate, untouched. Now, mind you, my mother had me at 38 years of age, and this was several years before she passed. So that thing had probably been under there for like 40 years, something like that. Like, my mom didn't know it was there. I think she probably put it there, forgot it was there. Maybe my grandmother put it there. But we were all tripping about it because it was like, you knew it was there. There was something there. And then when we touched it, I started feeling it. Like as soon as I reached underneath there to grab it out, and we opened it up, I felt despair, sadness, like death was coming. Like death was coming. I kid you not. That was exactly what I felt as soon as I touched that thing. And I said, Mommy, this picture is not good. There's something about this picture that is hitting my spirit wrong. I knew it before we found it, and now that we have it in hand, this is bad. I told her, I was like, Mama, I don't even, like, my mother had to sit with me that night after that instance because I was so shook up. I'm like, man, this is like a bad omen or something of that nature. And my mother's friend, she's a spiritually inclined person, very spiritually inclined. So as soon as she touched it, she said, yeah, she felt something off of that thing too. And so it was one of them situations where it's like, I learned to trust that instinct based on that instance. Obviously, things occurred after my mother's, after that very night where we found the picture and all of that. I don't think it was maybe 2 months before my mother was diagnosed with cancer. And then we began that long 7-year process that ended up taking her life. So that was basically it. I was more or less feeling the despair that I was about to go through. That was like the initial point of emphasis to let me know that you're about to go through this with your mother. You know what I'm saying? And so what makes that even more trippy was that instance that led us to being in that house. I had a dream about letting me know that my grandmother was going to be passing away and that my mother was going to have to be dealing with the burden of having to deal with that. I had a dream that led her to that. You see what I'm saying? And that moment where we found that picture was the end of what that dream was telling us and the beginning of something else. And so this is what I'm telling you, like, I'm spiritually inclined for real. And what I'm telling you is that floor, it's one of those. So, but at the end of the day, I think it's just good people with sad hearts. That's the energy I get from that floor. Good people, sad hearts. Just like me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no, we can get along just fine. Yeah, I just got to chill. Let me be here. Don't push on my spirit. I ain't going to call the Holy Spirit to get you up out of here. We're going to be good friends because I already know what it is that your solution is to your problem. If you're spiritually is depressed, you need to be able to find outlets, for all of us, alive or with the Lord. We need to find outlets for that so that it doesn't continue to work against us wherever we may find ourselves. So, yeah, that's what it is, man. For you and you and you and you, all of us. Depression is supposed to be something that you turn that energy into something productive. Turn it into something positive, man. That's all bad energy really is supposed to be anyway. As I come to go through my journey in life, you take that energy and you fight it with good, and in doing so you can convert it, just like evil will convert you if you allow it to. So it works the same way. Just like I told the spirit, I'm your solution. You feeling depressed? Lean on me. Look at some of this depressive stuff that I turned into some of this positive energy. Listen to some of these prayers that I'm saying in the shower every day. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna stay depressed in this life. Follow BDF 44. We ain't gonna stay depressed in this life, and we're gonna get some answers to figure out why we were ever sad in the first place if we can. So that's what this is all about. That's what therapy sessions are about. That's what praying is about. That's what believing in God is about. It's about healing from things that the world is inevitably gonna throw at us regardless, in life and maybe even afterwards. Ooh. But no, for real, man, the spirit is real, bro. It ain't nothing to be afraid of. A lot of people have told us there's things to be afraid of. It's not. You trust your instincts, you get closer with God, you get closer to the spirit. I'm not anything special. I'm not no Christ-like figure. I'm just a person who believes, who's put a lot of effort in my spirit and actually allows my instincts to guide me in regards to what it is that I'm feeling. I don't betray that. I don't ignore that. I don't question that. And I accept the fact that I'm crazy. So it allows me to accept these things as is. Because a lot of people will be like, no, I can't accept the spirit. Why? Because if I do, I'm crazy. Well, if you accept you're crazy before that, then you're never going to have an issue with that. So that's why I embrace my mental illness, because it allows for me to venture into places that otherwise my mind would not allow me to if for not the agreements of sanity, for which I'm not bound by. So, my name is BDF 44. I thank you all for watching. Out.